Oi, oi. So, as usual, last minute stream. We literally just sat on the bike as that went live. So we've planned a route on RGT. We rode this route in real life yesterday, and then a little bit of smoothing with some apps, GPS Magic and View GPS, and also a script from Dan Connolly, another user in the RGT group, and sent it across to RGT. Within about 4 minutes it's ready, and then here we are, off on a little ride. Be interesting to see what it's like compared to the real ride yesterday. We've we filled the route up with 40 odd bots. Put them at a very gentle pace because we just want a poodle, essentially, which is, oh, they're the slow ones, which is what the bun run is. The bun run is, I don't know if it's just a Scottish thing. I know a lot of friends that'll go out on a bun run, and it's normally just like the local club ride. It's nothing fast, it's just riding along. So I'm in no man's land, holy moly. I thought I'd set the bots at a maximum of 200. Anyway, we certainly don't want to be going too hard. Not today. Legs need a rest. Always on my mind, always in my brain. With you the days are long and the nights are late, and I've been craving you since the first time that I sat by your side. Ooh, and I've been on my knees thinking time is gonna fix me inside. No, nothing's gonna make me forget, and I don't think I want to forget anyway, yeah, yeah. No, nothing's gonna make me forget, and I don't think I want to forget anyway, yeah, yeah. To forget anyway, yeah, yeah. No, nothing's gonna make me forget. Yeah, I don't think I want to forget anyway, yeah, yeah. That's the thing. When you ride with the bots, obviously, as you go up an incline, your power's going to go up. Their power's constant. Their power's a little bit higher than mine just now, so as the road flattens, they'll catch up a little bit. Then every time we get to that climb, I'll take off again. It's funny that, look at that helmet on this camera view. It doesn't look orange, like it's meant to. With some of the other camera angles, it really looks like a red helmet. Of course now I can't get it to look that way, but so yeah, so this loop I did yesterday, just out for a little poodle. Essentially, just starts right outside my house. Heads west, through Fairmile Head, loops back on itself, through up Skangs, down through Morningside, towards the meadows, loops round the meadows, back up through the Grange, and then up Liberton Brae to finish. And then that's the loop. Rather than just do a point to point, we decided to create a loop. Be interested to see what type of stats I get on today's ride versus yesterday. So currently just now my focus from Xert, I don't know if you can see that, 13 minutes is my focus. Yesterday in places it was down as high as 7, so he's off. Just remembered something. When I set up the bots, I didn't distribute them in terms of the power to my weight. So although Zoe's doing 2.8 watts per kilo, the avatar of that rider may well be much lighter, so her 2.8 watts might actually, in raw watts wise, might be far higher than mine. So I'm still getting used to organising group rides with bots and what's the best way to utilise them so you're not just riding on your own like we are just now. Cannot get over how smooth this new chain feels. Where are we now? Collington. We've travelled just over 4k so far. Be interesting to see which districts, although we don't really call them districts, but which areas of Edinburgh decides to signpost. So we started, I actually said Lone Head, which is not true. I don't live in Lone Head, but we do certainly pass through Collington, so that's correct. I wonder if, more than likely I would imagine it'll pick out Morningside. Obviously we're using the new, I don't want to call it a map pack, but I guess it's a skin, let's call it a skin. The new skin feature within Magic Road, so this is the Europe in spring, or the spring of Europe. So you get a certainly different texture to the trees. You get some rain, you just saw there. There's cobbles. There's bridges. So that's certainly the first update to Magic Roads. So in theory, I guess we could be calling this Magic Roads 3, since as the last update gave us Magic Road 2. But now you have the option of going with the classic skin or this new Europe in Spring, or Spring in Europe, whichever it's called. Just gives a little bit of variety when you're creating rides, whether that's a group ride or a race based on your Magic Roads. Which is one comment I see quite a lot, is whether or not you can control how the Magic Road is skinned. Unfortunately, the answer is no. However, you do have this option, so at some point, way down the line, there may well be the option to utilise the technology that Microsoft Flight Sim does. So if you're riding through a city, it knows that, and your route will be skinned such to reflect that. If you're riding through the countryside, then you get countryside. But I think that's probably quite far off on the RGT roadmap. But certainly, what is good is just the freedom to create your own rides. I mean, as I say, this took about 4 minutes, 5 minutes from the time that I emailed them my GPX file to the time I got an email to say your road's ready, and then creating the group ride itself in the app. Again, give it about a 7 minute window. You can easily jump in with a couple of minutes left to go. So again, about 4 minutes to create a ride. The default timing is about 2 hours, but you can change that down on the clock. Lots of little undulations on this route. It's funny, in real life it's quite split, so the first section, probably actually the first half, there's a lot of quite long roads, very free flowing. There's only a few places that you might get stopped by traffic or traffic lights. Second half of the route, certainly when I did it yesterday, just constantly non-stop, start stop, start stop. Obviously we don't have that issue on RGT, so you got a nice free flow in the ride. And as you can see from the profile, it's all relatively simple. There's a couple of 8-9% pitches, especially that big red section at the end, which just underneath my my camera. That's coming up Liberton Bray. That's a small ring if ever there was one. See how we get on today, because certainly tuner feedback is set at 100 just now. And as we put a exceptionally small ring on, with the pure intention of doing some climbing, chain doesn't swap very easily between the small ring and the big ring anymore. Instead of a 36, change it to a 34. We've been meaning to have a crack at an Everest last July, I'm not sure when we're finally going to get around to doing it. I know that Ed Laverack, going one better, he's doing a 10k ride today. Started at 6 AM this morning. I jumped onto his YouTube live stream about midday today, so he'd been riding for 6 hours. And he'd just hit the halfway point. 5,000 metres climbed, 6 hours. 113 odd kilometres he'd ridden. So he was looking at about 225 kilometres for the whole event. That's some commitment. Whoa! Lost the chain. I told you it wasn't set up for changing, but that was actually just moving on the rear cassette. Wasn't expecting that to jump off. Fortunately, there's a little climb here, so because the power of the box is consistent, I can put down a little bit more power to climb. I'll catch up quite easily. One of the short 9% pitches. What's a little climb like this in Edinburgh? Very short, quite steep. They're over and done very quickly. Of course, the biggest difference between the ride that we did real life yesterday and this one will be the average speed. And I'm quite happily cruising. There we go, 50 kilometres an hour. 3% downhill. Now, there were certainly a few points yesterday when I was up about 45. I don't think I ever got as fast as 50. So I reckon the average speed will be much faster today. That, of course, and yesterday was quite windy, so a lot of the ride was into the wind. We don't have that indoors. I think this bit is coming down into Morningside, and then the next little climb up. So on the actual route, we're about halfway nearly. 11 kilometres done. Yesterday I was crawling up this you can't really call it a climb, it's a main road, but it's a drag. I was crawling because, as with a lot of the main roads in Edinburgh, there's the places for people. So there's lanes that have been narrowed or taken away completely so people can walk. social distance. And unfortunately that means, certainly on this road, Morningside Road, you're on the main road with the traffic, and it was crawling yesterday because there was a van in front of me towing another van, and they just went for moving quick. And unfortunately, the lane that had been cut out was for pedestrians only, it wasn't for the bikes. Here we go. We've now caught Zoe. So much effort. Focus is up at 18 minutes now on Xert. I expect that to continue to rise, because this section quite easy. It's rolling, but it's fairly flat rolling. There's not really any severe pitches for the next few kilometres, so quite easy to ride it. Signpost just reminded me where I am. This part I still haven't managed to get right. Look at the saving. Watch top left. When I get right into the draft, obviously the saving goes up, but then you get two other metrics. You got one on the left, one on the right. The one on the left is how many watts you need to sustain to stay in the draft. And the next one is how much you need to pull out of the draft. So when you get right on that wheel, I find it really difficult to taper the watts enough to stay on the wheel. I either go right through or I drift back like I'm doing now. But that's the thing, it's saying I only need 100 watts. So I'm doing 120, so I should be catching, so that's not quite working. This section here, can't remember what it's called, but this is a bike route that cuts right through the meadows. Super simple, all downhill, and a little wiggle here at the bottom. That's us going onto the main road. Off the bike path onto the main road now. This will take us up to the meadows. The meadows is a huge big park right in the middle of Edinburgh. We're going to skirt all the way around the outside of it, past where the hospital used to be, past the university, past the old fire station, and then back round on the other end of the meadows. And we'll come up, and then just before with that bike lane finished, take a right heading up the hill, up towards the range. That'll be the sort of yellow section, sort of below my wheel and to the right, just before the camera. Dip down again. Do one more sharp U-turn at Cameron Toll area, and then that red climb just below the KISS team logo. That's Liberton Bray, and that takes us back up towards the start of the loop. Was this left, right, left. This was a little side road, cutting out the main junction. Left here, back onto the meadows. Next turn will be a right turn, uphill. You can see that on the profile just below. Coming up, a little bit of yellow. Starts off relatively steep and then it eases off slightly, so I think it's about maybe a 5-6%, if I remember rightly. Too busy dodging the potholes in real life. See what that's going to climb up to. 4.7 just now.
So I'm gonna dive into you. It doesn't even make sense why we try to fight it. Every time that we touch, the room caught on fire. We could blame it on the wine, but we know that we will both be lying. I wish I didn't want you. I was doing just fine, the way that it was. Then you hand me these emotions, didn't want them, but I guess that I'm stuck with them. They could go away, but I know they won't, and I should let it be. But I'm gonna dive into you. And maybe I tried, but what can I do? And it will be alright to let me down. I'd rather we try than let these feelings slide. So I'm gonna dive into you.
The other difference, I guess, between doing this ride outdoors and indoors is, of course, you have to keep pedaling all the time. There's a lot more freewheeling yesterday.
It doesn't even make sense why I think about you. It was only one night, only that time, and it's not my style to be caught up in the middle like this. But I'm gonna dive into you. And maybe I tried, but what can I do? And it will be alright to let me down. I'd rather we try than let these feelings slide. So I'm gonna dive into you.
It's funny riding a route that you've done in real life than riding it here, because maybe it's because I'd only just done it yesterday, but I know where all of these corners are. Like that one we just passed, I know that the road surface is horrendous and you're taking a wide line to try and avoid potholes, but it's difficult. So as you come round the corner, you go wide to scoot back in, but as you scoot back in, there's other potholes and you're just find yourself either going really, really slow or weeding around, which of course, if there's traffic, Not the best ideal. A shame you can't reset the box. It's just me and Santos riding. Lance is 260 metres behind. Vanessa's 500. Then you've got Paolo and Sydney at 600. And at this point, Joey's pulling away. But yeah, the point of mentioning the freewheeling is I've got an average watts at the moment of 187, and I know that my watts were a lot lower than that yesterday. Obviously we've got the climb to come up, so that'll push them up a bit, but at this point I think I was probably at about 160, so I've so far averaged about 20 watts more, and I reckon that's because we're pedalling. The focus is drifted up to 22 though, so although we're pedalling more, it's still quite easy. I guess that's because we don't have the constant stopping and starting, which of course gives you higher watts as you push off. So as we approach Liberton Bray, the question is, do we try it in the big ring? Or do we attempt to change into the smaller ring with the risk that Jane won't get back on the big ring? Next corner's a very sharp right-hander at traffic lights. I wonder how Dan Connolly's script has managed to smooth it out. So far, all the corners have been perfect. He's certainly a clever guy. And that's the thing with RGT. The community around RGT, there's so many people trying so many different things. But it's just absolutely great for the community. Look at that, that was smooth. Obviously there was the auto braking, but nice corner. I think it's safe to say that from now on in, every route that I'm planning is going to be pushed through Dan Connolly's script. And then from there we can go into GPX Magic, so we can just check all the points. And then from there we can go into GPS View, check the elevation. And then from there it's email into RGT and then write it. Funny how it says 4%. It's more than 4, for sure. We're not even on the red bit yet, and we're at 4%. Says touchdown. 7.9. Last little kick. Top of the hill. That's 9.2. Nearly at the top of the hill, and then we'll start the loop again. Obviously we're not finished yet, but average speed definitely much higher. Yesterday this route took us 1 hour 2. So far we're only on 40. So I reckon maybe 10 minutes tops. And we'll be at the start line. We are back to the start of the loop. Just a couple of little zigzags. Every corner just feels so nice. I cannot say enough how much Dan Connolly's script has really helped. I mean, some of these corners, not Lonehead, I don't live in Lonehead. Some of these corners are really, really tight. So far I've only spotted maybe two. There's a third one where the auto braking is on. So 45 minutes for the loop. As I say, real life yesterday, 1 hour and 2. So the toughest part of this route is definitely at the beginning. We short a little climb up, away from the start, a little downhill section, and then it ramps up, taking us up to feel my head. Let's see how it deals with avatars coming the other way. Are we going to see any? No, they come off that side. Be interested to see what would happen there. I wonder if, on the climb, are we going to catch up to Santos? Certainly the intention is just to ride nice and easy today. We crashed and burned quite badly on Thursday for round 2 of the tour series. After doing relative to other performances quite well on Tuesday, Thursday just didn't go to plan. The legs were goose, so this weekend is all about trying to recover, getting ready for round 3 coming up on Tuesday. Aberystwyth. .9%. Holy moly.
Trying to impress me, pulling out all the stops, making my head dizzy when you tell me what you want. I just wanted you to see me, never thought you'd notice. Thought that you should know I'm already sold, so never let me go. You had me at a la 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 la. I can see you trying, finding ways inside my head. Lost and out of focus, I can hear a word you say. Cause I don't care about your game, I just wanted you to see me.
Interesting feature on the new 830. So I've got, put my face in my focus. I've got my power showing a dynamic graph, power graph. Obviously it's not showing any of the peak phase or power phase because we don't have the pedals on this bike. The vectors are on the race bike. That's quite interesting. You can see graphically what you've been doing. Almost like the power band on Zwift along the bottom. Where if you want a nice blue ride, you can just watch that if you don't know what your own power is, obviously. That's quite interesting though. Garmin have done the same. Climbing up to the highest point on the route. Not that high to be fair. And there you can see the change in the graph, how it's changed colours. So we obviously put a bit more pressure on the pedals there, and we've gone into the orange. And then downhill it's dropping back down into the grey because we're just cruising now. So the hour's nearly up. We're not going to do the full 2 laps, we just wanted to ride steady for an hour. And fingers crossed, you never know, we might actually get outside for a real bun run tomorrow. Things are starting to ease, certainly in Scotland, which I think is the same as Wales. We can have 9 in a group ride. Keep your distance. That's quite good. It's been so long since I've ridden outdoors with anyone other than my partner. Nothing against that, of course. I wish we'd had a chance to do more rides, but cycling can of course be a very social thing, and riding on your own, either outdoors or I guess in groups, but in lockdown, virtually it's just not the same as riding outdoors in a group. Then fingers crossed, racing is on the horizon. Vans is right behind us, catching fast. where I've zero intention of trying to hold it off. Let's see if we can stay at this position 3 meters on his wheel. Nope. We blew it. I just cannot get it right. There we go. Our hour is up. Really trying to focus staying on Lance's wheel there, but it's just not happening. You either go from pulling to drifting back. There's a very, very fine window in the middle, and I just can't figure it out. Maybe it takes a lot of freewheeling or skipping revolutions, I'm not sure, but yeah, I can get that to work properly. Anyway, there we go, 1 hour done. Let's stop her right there. That's it. Nice little route. As I said quite a few times, Dan Connolly, your script just works. All those corners, so smooth. Love it. And there's a couple of really tight, almost 180-degree turns. And yes, there's awful braking, but the movement of the avatar around the corner is so smooth. And that's all down to your script, so fantastic. Intensity, yeah, a little bit higher than what I needed. 0.77. I really wanted to do a 0.6 right today, but hey ho. That's it for me there. So thanks for joining me on the Burn Run. And tune in next Tuesday, 5:30 GMT for the tour series, the unofficial tour series. I've been asked by the owners of the tour series to make that blatantly obvious that the tour series is unofficial. So yeah, tune in 5:30 next week for round 3, Aberystwyth. And yeah, as ever, take care of yourselves, keep your hands clean, see you soon.
I just wanna